Hi everyone, welcome to the part 2 of real life applications of Bitcoin or cryptocurrency in general. To start with this again, I repeat, this is not financial advice. This is only and only for educational purposes. And if you want to invest in Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency, do it at your own risk and discretion. So before we begin, I wanted to comment your doubts or opinions below about what you think about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency as an investment or other options. I would love to hear your feedback after you're done watching this entire video. So make sure you do that. Don't forget to like the video as it really helps me with the algorithm, and subscribe to the channel as it helps me keep going and keeps you notified of any more videos that I put, and it's obviously free for you. Don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified when the next video comes out. So as a method to track and stop criminal activities, what? Isn't this absolutely contrary to the common belief? We see so many Netflix shows and even in the news that there are so many criminal activities taking place using Bitcoin. And even we hear that it is helping to fund some terrorist organizations or helping China for their future cyber warfare. Well, all of that is not true. All of that is all fake. To be very honest, Bitcoin's every single transaction is absolutely traceable. Bitcoin at best is pseudonymous and not anonymous. I've talked about this particular thing in detail so many times in the previous video as well, and in the videos where I explained about Bitcoin, or even in the video where I talked about myths about Bitcoin. In fact, it is so traceable that it is on permanent record. No matter what you do, you can never change this log. This log is uneditable. Once an entry is put on the log, it is there forever. And this is for all the blockchains, not just Bitcoin in general. All the blockchains in existence today are uneditable. They are basically an append-only ledger where you can only add new transactions, add new lines, add new signatures. You cannot modify the previous entries. That means. So as a result, Bitcoin is considerably easier for the law enforcement to track rather than cash, gold or diamonds, because cash, gold or diamond can change hands at any moment. So even in currency notes you have their numbers, but in gold or diamonds such kind of thing cannot happen. So obviously Bitcoin is much more traceable, and obviously like any form of money, some of it will be misused, but compared to other forms of payment, it is a big improvement. And ever since people have started to realize that Bitcoin is traceable, they are not indulging in any wrongful doings using Bitcoin anymore. So if Bitcoin is used as a standard form of payment, a lot of criminal activities can be put to an end. So the next use case is overcoming worldwide banking challenges. Very few countries have the modern banking system where everything is so smooth. Well, this is not the case for the entire world. As a result, many people in many countries are excluded from products and services. Even Netflix, as I talked about in my previous video, is not available everywhere. It is available only in a few countries, just because, as I already mentioned in the previous video, that it has to set up forms of payments for every individual country. It has to accept dollars in US, rupees in India, and which is why it is not reaching the entire world. But if Netflix starts accepting Bitcoin, so let's say it sets its price to fix 0.1 BTC in USA, 0.01 BTC in India, for example, not obviously it's not going to keep it 1/10, so they'll just accept BTC and work with it. So this will be a big benefit, and Netflix will be able to reach more people around the world as a form of micropayment. So let me explain what micropayments is. So let's consider a very small payment. So you suppose you have to pay somebody $0.0001. This kind of a micropayment in the current ecosystem is not possible because any bank would not allow you to make a payment so small. And through the existing debit card, credit card fee structure, this is absolutely impossible. But with Bitcoin, this is very easy. Bitcoin has infinite divisibility. You can write down 0.00001 Bitcoin, for example, or in fact right now it is up to 8 decimals, and it can obviously increase in the future. I'll add one more zero here. So this is the amount of Bitcoin you can send to somebody, and this is obviously a very small amount, right? And hence people will be able to make very precise decimal transactions with each other, which will be very helpful. In fact, this can be sent around the world, not just in a local sphere. This can be sent around the world and you don't have to pay any extra fees on it. And even if miners charge, it's very minimal, right? So generally miners keep it at a very low rate of charge, which is much lesser than what banks charge. So in similar way, if micropayments are accepted, it helps in also fighting spam. How will that work? See, suppose in spam you have to send 1000 emails, and for every email you have to include 0.00001 Bitcoin. So when it comes to 1000 mails, right, this will become 0 and this will become 1, right? So you have to pay this much amount of Bitcoin. Now this will be some significant amount, especially when more zeros are added. So when somebody is spamming and they have to attach minor amount of Bitcoin with each mail, they will have to consider the amount of mails they are sending, and this will significantly reduce the amount of spams people send around, right? So email settings could be set up in a way where they refuse to accept or send emails unless they have very minimal amount of Bitcoin attached with them, just small enough to not hurt the sender and large enough to avoid any spamming. You know, every day millions of workers go to work and work really hard in foreign countries and make money to send back to their families in their home countries. And in a recent data, according to the World Bank, over $500 billion are being used by workers in different countries to send back to their home countries. And some banks charge up to even 10% and even higher to send this money back to their homes, and which is obviously very costly. So consider a worker who's earning only $1,000 a month and he wants to send some money back to his home country. He'll be paying $100. I mean, that's 10% of 1,000. It's mind-boggling. $100 amounts to such a huge amount of money in a third world country when converted back, and it's a lot of loss of money for the sender and the receiver. But what if this $1,000 are sent as a Bitcoin? Now this intermediary is eliminated, and the Bitcoin, even if there is minor fee charged in the transaction by the miner, it's not going to be as big as this. It's going to be 0.2% maybe, or even lesser in fact, which is nothing as compared to 10%. Imagine that. Therefore, raise the quality of the life of the migrant workers and their families significantly, and hence Bitcoin is solving an actual real life massive problem, and I think which is quite amazing because that's what technology is supposed to do. And the next example is for public payments. So if you need donations for a noble cause, you are creating an activism about something, or you need funding for your startups or any other reason, you don't have to now go through entire large process of sanctioning the money from the bank, paying them some fees, keeping collateral. Just talk to the investor and ask him to transfer them through BTC or any other cryptocurrency, right? This will help you a lot. In fact, in a recent example, a guy held a placard with his QR code here and wrote down "Send me BTC," and people actually sent him BTC, and he collected over $1 million in one day, which is quite amazing, So recently, the BLM movement. So basically, suppose a particular NGO would have picked it up and they needed money to raise funds. Instead of knocking on door every single place or holding up a QR code where the bank can cut money, can charge for as business transactions, they can simply ask the money to be transacted in BTC. While sending BTC, no information of yours is being sent to the receiver except for the pseudonym that you're using for yourself, and hence no further frauds can be done to you, which is a huge buff for anyone sending the money, and they'll be more willing to send the money, which can help the cause. So thank you for sticking so far. I hope you liked these use cases for Bitcoin. If you did, don't forget to leave a comment below about what you think of these use cases, and if any other come to your mind. Don't forget to like the video as it helps me with the algorithm. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you know and get regular updates about what kind of videos I'm posting. I post, as I mentioned already, a lot of different stuff and useful stuff in fact, and press that bell icon to be notified when the next video comes out. So again, thank you for joining, and I hope you stay safe. Bye bye.